Okay, now I'm going to go a quick review about programming C, whatever I've learned throughout half of the semester. On the right side of the table, on the notepad, you can see what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about variable, how to declare, initialize, and the types of variables, standard input, output, scanf, and printf, selection, if else, loop, while loop, do while loop, for loop, array, how to declare an array, initialize array, and access in an array. On the left side of the screen, you can see Quincy. So I'm going to explain the things I told you about. The first thing we'll go into types of variable. There's 4 basic variable types: integer, character, float, and double. The way you declare a variable is that you choose an integer type, any type of variable, sorry. For example, I chose an integer type, and you just assign a character to that, any letter to that variable, then it's automatically declared. The way you initialize it, just input any value into that declared variable. For example, the first sentence, the first line shows that I've inputted 0, so my variable I value is 0 and my variable I value in the next line is 5. This overrides the previous input of 0. Now the value of I is 5. So next we're going to standard input output. We're going to talk about scanf and printf. Scanf is a function that scans a user input. So what you do, you write the line scanf, then you specify the data type you're going to scan from the user, which in this case is integer type, and you just point it towards the variable that is going to input the value into. So there's few type you can specify for the user to input. There's and %d for integer, %c for character, %c for float, and %long float for double, or you can use either one for double and float. And printf is the same thing, except where it puts the user's input onto the screen, outputs the end result of the program into the screen. Same thing, you write printf, then you specify the value that you're gonna output, the type of value. So in this case integer, then you point to the variable, then it's gonna take the value from. Okay, next up I'm gonna talk about selection, if and if else. If a condition is fulfilled, then a statement is printed, right? That's a if statement. So if there's a condition and the condition is fulfilled, the statement is printed. Else, the condition, if the first condition is not fulfilled, it automatically prints the second condition. That is if else. And I'm gonna go for loop. While a condition is fulfilled, or while the condition is not fulfilled, the loop will be keep on running. That's the function of while loop. So while this function is not filled, the statement will be printed. So it's an ongoing loop. And do while is the same thing, just it's a bit different from while in the state that it prints the statement first, then it checks for the condition. So every time it prints the statement and checks the condition until the condition is fulfilled, it prints the statement. And for is another type of loop where you specify the number of times the loop is running. So for example, you give a value for, see this below 5, so this loop runs for 4 times. There's for loop for you. And next I'm going to go to array. Array, initializing an array, you can, is the same tip of initializing a variable, but the thing is you give a space for it, how many space you're going to declare the array, declare the variable, sorry. So if in this case I've declared 5 spaces for this variable, so it becomes an array with 5 spaces. If this is 1-dimensional array and this is 2-dimensional array, and the way you initialize an array is you just open bracket inside the value and close bracket. In this case, the whole spaces of array f is filled with 0. These 5 spaces is continued from f0, f1, f2, f3, f4, not f5, because array doesn't count from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It starts from binary digit 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 means starting from 0 until 4. So if I initialize a value of f0 into f, it means that the first space of array f is f. So if I want to printf the third F3, which is actually the fourth space, it shows an arrow. It shows nothing, because you've already put 0 here, which is nothing. So if you want to print out the F that you've put in the first space, you have to printf F0, so that it shows that in this first space the value you input is F. That's all. Thank you.